And we're back. Gentlemen, we got some serious trouble here. In fact, Oklahoma is in trouble. Education is in real bad shape. Teachers are being cut. You saw the Tulsa World this morning, and multiply that by all the different districts around Oklahoma. Nothing's being done. Where are we headed?
Well, that's a good question. The legislature says they are, I talked to David Brumbaugh from Tulsa, a Republican. I think he's, like number 3 in the House?
He's the chairman of the Republican caucus. In the House. Yeah.
And he was talking about how they keep putting tax credits up to be reviewed.
They didn't quite get to it.
They don't. The governor seems to come down and go, let's don't do it that one, or let's not do this one, or, and if we're going to do that, everything's got to be on the table, and I don't think it is.
Of course not. It's just like hiring practices. Remember when she issued that mandate to cut back on hiring, except for you, and you? And now the district attorney, or not that, but the state attorney general's office is huge, to paraphrase one local.
Well, there is legislation that would cap the cuts to common education at 5%. Yeah. And of course, David Boren's proposed sales tax increase, which would generate over $600 million a year, according to their calculations. They submitted that petition. They had over 300,000 signatures. They said they needed 125,000, I think. So that's a pretty sure bet that it's going to be in the ballot in November.
But Charlie, won't the lawmakers then turn right around and whatever that raises, cut the schools that much again?
Well, I think a bigger problem is that it's not just common education for that sales tax. It also includes career tech, higher education, and one other category too. But so it's going to be split. But Sam, the problem is historically in Oklahoma, we have all these things that we do to fund education, and they never pan out. Bingo was supposed to fund education. Look up at the drink.
Mutual betting.
Yeah, the lottery was supposed to produce $300 million a year. It produces $16 million a year. And Class 3 gambling. It's supposed to fund public education, and it hasn't done the job. So, and I think I keep hearing from legislators that the deficit's going to be, for the next fiscal year, is going to be $1.5 billion out of a little over $7.2 billion normal budget.
Which will elevate us from a shortage for the schools of 4.7% to roughly 11%, won't it?
Yeah, unless that cap goes in and they say we're going to across the board cut of all state agencies except hold education at 5%, because that is under consideration right now.
Some of the local school districts are very concerned about their bonds, and
well, they should be.
And some of the investment services, rating services, have contacted. I know of at least one school district in Tulsa County about their bonds and their rating, and they could be in trouble.
One bright note about all of this is the number of filings for office, people running for office, was really large this time around, and the majority of those folk have ties to education.
Well, in some way, but
yeah.
they're not all teachers.
No, but they are in some way tied to education.
I've talked to some House candidates that are going door to door, and they say the universal theme of people is that more funding for education. Now, that's going to be hard to find. There also is a proposal that's been bounced around in this session to do a $750 million bond issue to make up part of the deficit. I'm not sure that would pass, but that is one proposal.
It's awfully hard to borrow yourself out of debt.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah,
you just can't do it. And I mean, Governor Fallon is going to have to turn loose of the gas industry a little bit to let us get some revenue from that.
Well, the gas industry, of course, it's down. It follows the path of the oil industry. It may be coming back a little bit, so but it's a commodity. It goes up and down, and like you said earlier, you can't really trust the revenue stream.
No.
Yeah, I think oil's $45 a barrel today, which is, for recent times, very good because it's been down in the mid-20s. But the state budget for next year when the Equalization Board certified the numbers, they were basing oil on $40 a barrel oil.
Right.
We're just now getting there
Right.
for next year.
I want to talk a little bit about healthcare. I want to hear from you guys on this. I think it was Craig County Hospital in Veneta, the seventh rural hospital to close its doors because of shrinking revenue, both on the state level and the federal level. And I'm told that this is going to get much worse. Do you see any relief at all coming? Because now we got large hospitals starting to tighten the screws.
No, I don't see relief. United Healthcare, I think, nationally, they're pulling out. They're not going to do Obamacare anymore. They're finding out that the requirements of the law are forcing them to pay out more than they can bring in on premiums. So there's a squeeze going on there too, and that's going to have a big impact on hospitals, especially small rural hospitals.
And there's a story today where IMSA is going to have to raise rates if Medicaid is squeezed. And again, what is it, 25% coming off again on June 1st on reimbursements to Medicaid providers.
Well, and
So that means your doctor is going to get 25% less,
yeah.
but
And fewer will take Medicaid too when that happens.
yeah.
And we're also looking at over 73,000 Oklahomans that might be cut from mental health services, which means they'll just fall to the wayside, which is going to trigger problems right and left for organized health care, but the community as well, because these folks won't have any treatment of any kind.
We used to have a facility at Veneta.
Which is long gone.
It was long gone, and I think there was one, was it Enid? Paul's Valley? Somewhere
some of
else?
the
in-
hospitals-
Used to be one in Norman too.
Norman, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's the one I'm thinking of, but I think it's gone too now.
Central State.
The Williams Company takeover cost us 100 jobs. Why didn't somebody know that was coming?
Oh, it's going to cost 1,000
It
jobs.
costs
Is it up
1,000
to
jobs.
1,000
It will
now?
be
Yeah.
1,000 if the merger goes through and ETE closes.
Well, that's
The Tulsa
I'm sorry.
operations-
I'm sorry, I said 100 here, is what I meant to say, but
Well, the 100 layoffs
Yeah.
was what had already been planned because of energy prices before the merger. The merger would get rid of the rest of the jobs. So there could be,
why didn't anybody see this coming? What happened? Who dropped the ball?
I think it has to deal with the Williams ownerships. You have a lot of investors and not necessarily folks in Tulsa, in Oklahoma. You know, the governor and Dewey Bartlett and the chamber went to New York to meet with the chairman of board of Williams. Well, in the old days, the chairman of the board at Williams was in town, and that's not the case anymore. They don't have the Tulsa ties that they used to have.
And when you have these big companies merge and have a stock deal like this, you have duplication of services like accounting and other things. And so to make money, they consolidate their operations, and so they're moving everything to Dallas.
We had the same thing happen with Dollar Thrifty and Hertz.
And big hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going on everywhere anymore. That's a shame. Personal buyouts at the Tulsa Police Department, legal, ethical, where are we?
I asked around campus if there's anyone who would like to pay me to retire, and I
What-
had no takers.
What about it,
We
Charlie?
can start a fund here, yeah. Well, I think it's technically legal. It's ethical. I don't know. You kind of think it's not ethical, but the way that it's been presented and the fact that it's been hidden for all these years, but it's a little bit disturbing. I mean, maybe there should be some legislation that makes it illegal.
Yeah, some city ordinance or something, but
'Cause
to
it's
do
certainly-
that, they're going to get into contract negotiations with the FOP, and
Well, was it going on with the state boys too?
I don't know that it's going on with the state, but it's been a practice in Tulsa for decades. I actually remember hearing about it when I worked for the city about 7-8 years ago. It was discussed.
Intriguing.
So,
Hey, thank you guys for coming by.
sure.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Our monthly review of things, and God knows there's enough we could get into to go for another half hour. Hopefully, we'll have this Branstetter are back next time around.
All right.
Yep.
All right, thank you guys. That's all the time we have for this edition of Perspectives. I'm Sam Jones. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.